Good evening, my dear viewers. This video is for mathematics, and we are teaching the basic rules of operations with integers. But I will first of all start by defining this very important word, the absolute value of a number. What do we mean by the absolute value of a number? Because we are going to be using that term in basic operations or basic rules of operating with integer. The absolute value of a number is the distance between that number and zero on a number line, without considering the direction. In other words, it is non-negative value of the number regardless of whether the number is positive or negative. The key points here are these, that the absolute value of a positive number is the number itself. The other point is the absolute value of a negative number is the positive version of that number. And the other key point is that the absolute value of 0 is 0. Why? We are considering the numbers from 0. So if I go backwards, the distance between that number and 0 on the number line. So the distance of 0 and 0 is 0. There is no distance, so the absolute value of 0 is 0. Notation. The absolute value of a number x, the absolute value of a number x is denoted by x with two side bars, two lines, two parallel lines, and x is in between. So examples, 5 inside those two parallel lines means absolute value of 5, which is 5. Absolute value of negative 7 is 7. Absolute value of 0 is 0. Explanation of why the absolute value of 5 is that 5. The distance from 5 to 0 on the number line is 5 units. Absolute value of negative 7 is 7. The distance from negative 7 to 0 on the number line is 7 units. Absolute value of 0 is 0. The distance from 0 to 0 is 0 units. You are not making any movement. The basic rules for operations with integer. We start with addition of integers. Here, you normally add two numbers with the same signs, that is, integers are assigned numbers, and they can have the same signs, that is, they can be negative, both can be negative and both can be positive, or one can be positive and the other one can be negative. So same signs means positive signs or same negative signs. For example, 5 plus 3 equals 8. Both are positive. Negative 4 plus negative 6 equals negative 10. Both are negative. Okay? So what do? If the signs are the same, add the absolute values of the integers and keep the common sign. So here I'll add 5 to 3, I get 8. The common sign is plus, so the answer is positive 8. Here absolute value is 4 plus 6, 10, and the sign is negative. Difference sign. Subtract the smaller absolute value from the larger absolute value and keep the sign of the integer with the larger absolute value. Example, 7 plus negative 4 equals 3. That is 7 minus 4 is 3, but the larger number is positive, so the answer is positive. Positive sign because 7 is greater than 4. Negative 9 plus 5 is equal to negative 4. Negative sign because 9 is greater than 5. You keep the sign of the larger number. Subtraction of integers. To subtract an integer, add its opposite. Add the negative of the number you are subtracting. For example, 6 minus 3, I'll add 6 plus negative 3, which gives me 3. Because now I'll apply the rule. I'm adding two numbers, and the sign of the different signs, and the sign of the larger number is positive, so I will get 3. 4 minus negative 7 is equal to negative 4 plus 7. You add the opposite. The opposite of negative 7 is positive 7, which is 3. Which is negative 4 plus 7, which gives you 3. Multiplication of integers. Same signs. Multiply the absolute values of the integers and the product is positive. 4 times 3, 12. Negative 5 times negative 2, 10. Different signs. Multiply the absolute value of the integers and the product is negative. Example, 7 times negative 3. All right, let me set my computer here. Yes. 7 times negative 3 is equal to negative 21. And negative 80 times 2 is negative 16. So you multiply the absolute value of the integer and the product is always negative. Division of integers. All right. Same signs, divide the absolute values of the integers and the quotient is positive if they have the same signs. 12 divided by 3 is 4 because 12 and 3 are positive. Negative 15 divided by negative 5, 3, because both of them have a negative sign. And so same sign. Different signs divide the absolute values of the integers and the quotient is negative. So 14 divided by negative 2 is negative 7. Negative 18 divided by 6 is negative 3. Order of operations. What you call body mass or bead mass. This means brackets. Orders, which means powers and roots are the next. Multiplication, addition, and subtraction. And you are being told you start with brackets, then you come to the orders, which are powers or roots, then division and multiplication from left to right, addition and subtraction from left to right. Example, 3 times 4 plus 2 is equal to, brackets first, 3 times 6 is 18. These rules are fundamental in solving problems involving integers. Body mass and body mass means the acronym body mass or BD mass stands for the order of operations used to solve mathematical expressions. Okay? So, B stands for brackets or parentheses. O or I stands for unders, e.g. exponents or indices. D, division. M, multiplication. And A, addition. S, subtraction. The rule dictates the sequence in which operations should be performed in a mathematical expression to ensure consistent results. The operations inside brackets are performed first, followed by any exponents, then multiplication and division from left to right, and finally addition and subtraction from left to right. So, that is the end of the basic rules of operating with integers. So we have multiplication, we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division as the main operations. And in each of them, you have numbers which have the same signs and numbers which have different signs in either addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Bye bye, my friends and my viewers. See you in my next mathematics video. That was just a clarification video. Bye, guys.